introduce our players, spawning in the top right hand position of Oxide, representing Alpha X and showing a very strong game and series against Creator. It is none other than our very own Ragnarok.
And in the opposite corner, winning a very close series against the one insane Creator, representing himself in the red trunks, it is BYUN.
Fantastic. Quick question for you, Akon. Do you think Ragnarok is so aggressive because he writes his name in all caps? Or do you think because he writes his name in all caps that somehow influenced him to be more aggressive?
Yeah, I think it's the latter.
Okay. It kind of took control of him, kind of
Yeah. It's just like this all caps kind of raging Viking. That's how Ragnarok is. And look at this. Your base, my base now. And that's what he's doing.
This land is your land, says Ragnarok. And here's the thing about hatch blocking a Terran player. So they can just kind of put their CC right there,
next
right?
to it.
And then this is floated on over, right? Now, I think here's the thing. I'm not sure if Ragnarok is really looking for anything super special off of this. I think it's just the hatch block, honestly. Maybe get a queen down, throw it on a creep tumor. But it has to be super annoying if you're BYUN. But I don't really know. What do you think he's trying to get out of this? You're the bug here, the bug player.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm the kind of bug player who likes to put archeries on the other side of the map, but I never do this against Terran.
Well,
absolutely never. Sorry?
Well, there's your problem. You gotta put them on the other side of the map. There you go.
Yeah, I just can. It's like an
looks
initiative to scratch, like placing niduses here and there, like dropping overloads and making an archery on the other side of the map, dropping these spine crawlers, and yeah, all this kind of stuff is just like. I don't know, it's just like a fetish of mine when I play Zerg. I just call it like that.
It's your weird obsession. Speaking of weird obsession, Roach Warrens and Ragnarok. What you need to know about getting a Roach Warren before you're natural. Probably means you're trying to
he has a natural. What do you mean? He does have a natural.
There is nothing natural about that. Okay, God.
He has a natural. He doesn't have his natural. He has a
Okay,
natural.
he has a natural, not the natural.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a weird thing. He's getting a queen and roaches, which is exactly what you want out of a proxy hatch. But he's getting it on his side of the map. So, I mean, I thought he was gonna like get it over here and maybe try some shenanigans, you know. I guess roaches, like 3 roaches, don't really do much here, right? But the queen, not even the queen at least, so.
I mean, he's slowing his opponent a lot. Like, BYUN is slowed down by this immensely. Like, there's creep everywhere right now, so this is not gonna be a great day for BYUN to start macroing stuff up. And
2 little nibbles away. I think that was just kind of like the roaches and the raptors are actually on the way. So this is kind of something we've seen. Not exactly like this, but we do see one-base Ravager pushes not too rarely nowadays. It used to be a lot more common, I think. I haven't seen as much recently, but I think it was just a bait to get BYUN thinking about the proxy hatch and just keep him on his side of the map so a Reaper could not spot this. And it looks like, though, Ragnarok is going to go ahead and make his way up the ramp. He's going to get, actually not an amazing trade there, loses a couple of roaches there for not that much in return. 3 roaches for a couple of Marines and an SCV or 2. But the push is not over, the real strength is in the Raptors, and it's looking pretty rough here from BYUN. No, I don't know. It's looking rough. Ragnarok is getting good damage done, he's getting good add-ons, he's getting the supply depots. I mean, I don't feel like this is super committed. He does have his natural, and there's not really that many reinforcements rallying. I mean, there's a drone on the way. It's pretty cute, but that's it. And I feel like you have to get more with this, right?
I do feel like Ragnarok has made the actual good decision, to be honest. Like, he decided to just get enough damage there, slow down this second command center by a ton. And he's been right now outproducing workers compared to his opponent consistently, stopping him on his tracks. I do like that BYUN decided to go for the 2-1-1. I thought it was greedy at first, not going for a tech lab next to the factory to get a Cyclone, or next to the starport to get a Banshee, but he decided to go for this, and it will transition into a fairly comfortable scenario even after taking these many losses. Out of Ragnarok, I do feel like this didn't accomplish enough. Like, it wasn't committed, so he didn't like lose a bunch of units or anything, but his third base is nowhere to be seen. And that is kind of important. He wants to go all in again.
And
with
he's
a
getting a
lair?
lair. Yeah, so maybe some sort of Nidus play. I
Whoa,
thought BYUN canceled Stim at the last second and got combat shields, but no, just finished up. So I'm stupid. But you know, now that BYUN's not stuck on his side of the map, he's gonna have to notice that there's some shenanigans going on here, right? And nothing's gonna really be a surprise. BYUN's just gonna boost the medevac in, see the layer, turn right around, know exactly what's coming, and yeah, we see a tech lab immediately on that factory. So I feel like Ragnarok is almost boxed himself into a corner here. He's gonna take the third now, but 6 minutes and 10 seconds is not the timing on that bad boy, is it? Is it, Akon? I don't play Zerg. I'm no Zerg player. Not. So you tell me.
I mean, I'm a very aggressive Zerg player who tends to do this kind of aggressive stuff to get these late third archeries, but neither I will never take such a late one if I'm not thinking about like immediately striking.
Yeah, this isn't even late.
It's been like a little bit all over the place. Like, I like him taking Carapace as an upgrade. I think that's really clever, since he knows there's a bunch of Marines more than anything else. He's not gonna face tanks or anything to the likes of it. But yeah, just look at this.
Yeah.
BYUN has full map control right now. If you want to play aggressively, you have to forfeit like half your economy.
Absolutely. There's like
and if you do that in this scenario, it means you have to win with your attack. Otherwise, you're dead.
Yeah, and you can just see that Ragnarok is kind of just bleeding everywhere. I mean, the third wasn't even late. It was like called ahead, rescheduled, stuck in traffic, you know. Yes, it's terrible. And look at the creep spread. I mean, I understand, you know, sometimes it's hard to spread creep, but I mean, 7-minute mark and he's got like a soul patch right down the middle, you know. And I feel like BYUN has everything he needs to kind of close this out. BYUN is the kind of player though who, when he has that lead, sometimes he just kind of like throws it away. But I don't know. I don't feel like this is one of those games. You can see Ragnarok, a little bit of desperation maybe. He's getting tunneling claws and burrow, so maybe he's gonna try and catch the army off guard, like on burrow, like under his whole army when BYUN comes for the inevitable push of death. But it seems desperate, Akon. It seems very desperate.
Yeah, it seems like very desperate, as you were saying. Like, BYUN is taking all of the pieces of his puzzle again. And Ragnarok just doesn't really have much. Doesn't really have anything, to be completely honest. What does he have right here? We see, like... roaches. Yeah, roaches. Like, we see this bunch of roaches and ravages. We see +1 Carapace, +1 melee being taken by Ragnarok right now. Do you know he doesn't even have link speed?
Yeah. Oh, does he? Oh my god, no link speed. So, probably actually just an oversight here. I think he just forgot. That has to be unintentional. Yeah. But he has main starting to mine out.
Maybe he's just gonna take Baneley speed and avoid making Zerglings. Like, he makes Zerglings just to turn them into Banelings. That's a thing he could do, but...
He hasn't made a single Zergling this entire
Everything
game.
is so late right now for Ragnarok. Like, he has a bunch of roaches, but those can help him survive just for a little bit, not for much. Like, right now, these tunneling close roaches try to make their way through the map, but there's a missile turret just between the natural and the third. Like, BYUN has been playing this game like 200 IQ right now.
Oh, 200 million IQ. I mean, oh my gosh, like, even if Ragnarok had like 30 more supply right now, just of pure roaches, I would still think BYUN is in a fantastic position. I mean, his 1-1's gonna finish on up soon. He's got all the infantry upgrades, stim, combat shields, concussive shells, and I feel like Ragnarok, it really needs to make something happen. Magic needs to happen. He needs to pull something out of the hat and, you know, make a play. Otherwise, he's just gonna like die to when BYUN moves out. Because, like, what else is there to do? He's gonna take a 4th base, sure. He's gonna get centrifugal hooks, but no link speed. I mean, I think he's gonna figure it out now, right? Now that the first link is finally gonna pop out.
Like, getting a hive right now, I have absolutely no idea what it can accomplish.
Maybe it's I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's gonna abduct his own Ravagers and like say GG, but I honestly have no idea. Like
that would be the
is
greatest play
optimistic.
ever.
Yeah, if Ragnarok was in like a 2 times better position, the Hive would be optimistic. And I think BYUN is playing this very carefully. Not like out of character for him. He's taking his time. He's not really all over the map. He's being very careful. I think almost a little bit too careful, maybe to a fault. But I think he's just getting everything, all of his ducks in a row first. But Ragnarok has definitely had at least like a couple minutes to breathe, you know? A couple minutes to breathe. BYUN finally moving out here. Raptors are going to go ahead and clean that up, because of course they are. And yeah, I mean, now that his Hive is finishing, I think we're going to see maybe Ultras. Maybe he's getting the upgrades for it, right?
Could be. How do you feel about the 11th minute link speed upgrade?
It's tight timing, you know? It's really hard to hit, but I feel like if you're really motivated to ignore link speed for that long, it's definitely doable. And I feel like Ragnarok is gonna...
It requires some skills, like, to do that.
Oh yeah, skills to pay the bills, my friend. And he's finally gonna get link speed. I was right. It is Vipers! What is happening?
To abduct your own Ravagers?
He is abducting his own Ravagers. I knew it.
Of course he is.
No, he's gonna like bait out the Widow Mines with the Banelings, and then as soon as the Widow Mines fire, he's gonna abduct the Banelings back. So it's like blink.
But he's gonna do it too late, so that the Widow Mine still hits and kills all of his army.
Oh yeah, I mean of course that's the Dragon Tier army. That's just like assumed, yeah. Ultra's Cavern is going down, but Ragnarok has gotten so much free tech, I feel like. And I feel like BYUN has kind of made... I feel like we're now at the point where it's a critical error, right? Where
leaving jokes aside, like, this is not too bad of a spot for Ragnarok after being so uncontested for such a long time.
Yeah, I mean, after that shaky early game, like shaky at best early game, right? I mean, BYUN had all the things to hit a tight timing. He had 1-1, stim, combat shields, concussive shells, and like Ragnarok didn't even have Banelings, I think, at that point, and BYUN just kind of chilled, you know? He's gonna move out now, but they're both maxed out. It's a little bit of a better shot for Ragnarok. You know, at the very worst case scenario, he gives up this space and buys time for the Ultras. But actually, it seems like he's boxed himself in here. Maybe he has to set up a big flank. Looks like that's what he's gonna do, but BYUN is starting to become impatient. He does see the Vipers on the high ground. Can he stop it? The answer is no. Branding clouds go down, and here we go. BYUN gets sandwiched. All the Brandings and Ravagers closing on in, and BYUN just gets completely wiped up, and half his army was just sitting at home. What's going on?
What a disastrous game by BYUN. All over it from start to finish. So many wrong game decisions, so much bad game sense. This is starting to feel like a rough game number one for the Terran player. He's still that kind of player who can really clutch a game even if he's insanely behind. I don't think he's insanely behind. I think he took a big loss here. And I do think like Ragnarok is getting a lot of free tech, like you were saying. But +3/+3 is coming from BYUN. Some Ghosts and Liberators are soon to come as well. And once those are up, Ragnarok really will be slowed down. It really needs a lot of new tech to drop. Like right now, Ragnarok has higher tech than his opponent, but is as thin tech. Like it doesn't have only this Ultra Cavern and his Baneliness and his Roachworm. That's all the tech he has.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's not really much.
Not much at all, but I feel like this may be getting a little bit ahead of himself here. I mean, he's going to go ahead and roll it in, see if he can make some magic happen. BYUN, it's a little out of position, but it's very fortified. There's a planetary fortress here. No repair, though. The SCV's not even doing anything there, and he's going to go ahead and take it out. Meanwhile, at third base, a counterattack from BYUN is getting responded to by Ragnarok, but there's so many Marauders. Their Murches are just melting. And there's just pandemonium everywhere, Akon. SCV is going on down. I think BYUN is eventually going to get cleaned up here. Trade's good, but doesn't really get anything of economic importance. And Ragnarok taking the boldest 5th base ever taken in the history of TVZs against any player ever.
Yeah, welcome to Oxide, everybody. This is a short map, and it really shows its end once things starts to become a little bit more hectic. And yeah, this game has been quite hectic since that big engagement BYUN decided to take on the left side of the map. BYUN is still far behind right now compared to Ragnarok, but there's still that window of time that if he manages to survive to another onslaught by Ragnarok, that will lead him to a fairly interesting position. He needs to still survive this follow-up attack though, and that's not an easy task.
Not an easy task at all. I mean, okay, BYUN does have 2 ghosts, which might make things a little bit easier on him, but 2 ghosts is nowhere near enough. And as I say that, my headphones just died, so I can't hear anything, but here we go. Ragnarok is going to go ahead and move on in, collapsing on the army. The ghosts trying to get some steady shots off. One snipe does end up going down, but BYUN is forced all the way back into his base. Ultralisk trying to cow their way up this ramp, and they are succeeding. Now BYUN plummeting in supply. His defenses have been breached, and you just kind of gotta feel bad about it, Akon.
Yeah, these Ravagers, again, really getting so many kills, each and every one of them. Ultras ramping up in kills as well. BYUN supply is non-existent right now, and Ragnarok manages to break through, get very significant victories. Game's not over yet. BYUN decided not to tap out, but his army is just not there right now. He lost many workers as well, 25 to 71, and Ragnarok is just rallying through the map right now. There's very little ways I can see BYUN taking a win right now. That would require like Ragnarok just sitting under a nuke or something like that. But yeah, Ragnarok getting another big sandwich over here on top of the army of BYUN, and that should do the trick. BYUN needs to load up and lose yet another base, it seems like. Oh, that's a good trick by BYUN. It looks like it will shoo away Ragnarok for a little while longer, but there's still 28 workers to 71.
I found a USB cable so I can hear things once more, and yeah, I feel like great analysis by Akon. And yeah, I feel like...
Thank you, man.
I feel like BYUN is taking so many blows. 28 workers is not the worker count you can really realistically recover from, right? There's not really much BYUN can do other than just go for it. He is the kind of player who can just go for it. He can definitely try and make it happen. I mean, you can see he's doing his best. Maybe he'll get the hatchery, but Ragnarok comes in. Any trade he takes is gonna be a good one, and I feel like BYUN is having to tap out here. So frustrating. He gotta come so close to it. Marine's getting chomped on the flanks, and actually BYUN not doing too bad for himself there.
Once again, he manages to kill these Ultras, get past them, get on top of the Ravagers.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how BYUN is hanging by a thread for the past like 2 minutes and a half. And he's just not dying. He has like 2k gas in the bank. He has nowhere to spend it, and he's just refusing to die. But the economy difference is just way too big. Oh, he kills the hatchery.
Yeah, as we say that, the hatchery goes down, and now there's not really many mineral patches. The Vipers might actually... Nah, they were not gonna suck the hatchery dry, but... Like you said, BYUN is hanging from a thread, but that thread is made of spider silk, which is 10 times stronger than ordinary steel, Akon. And BYUN is not going down without a fight. He's gonna go and load up a medevac, and I think we have almost an even game on our hands, right? I mean, army supply is actually favoring BYUN. Wait a minute.
Like, if Ragnarok keeps on suiciding his army into the ones of BYUN, well, yes, then we do it. Like, these Vipers, where the heck are they going? Vipers in the middle of everything, getting blinding clouds, Ultra still surviving, getting finally again in the economy of BYUN on the other side of the map. That's a big fight, and BYUN takes the game. This has been
Oh my god.
I actually don't think Ragnarok should have topped out, though.
No? You think he was an early GG?
Yeah, I do think it was an early G. He had an Ultra in a mineral line that would have led BYUN to have like 10 workers. Even if you lose like 30 back home, you're still on even with your opponent.
Right. I'm trying to rewind right now, and I'm taking a look at everything that happened coming into that final engagement, and he had Ultras in the mineral line, you're right. And it was just, yeah, I feel like maybe Ragnarok thought he was going to get cleaned up on that side of the map. And then BYUN was also on his side of the map as well, and that was his whole army. But I feel like maybe there was still some fight. I feel like neither player is happy about what just happened. I feel like both BYUN and Ragnarok
kept on sending units upon units to their death. It was just a bad thing to do. Like, he was so much ahead at this stage. He didn't need to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Ultras don't really, unless you're ahead, you're not supposed to shoot them off creep, you know, and just hope for the best. I mean, they're really more just defensive units, kind of like the Disruptor, you know. They're like big old Zerg Disruptors that eat things instead of... The physical comparisons are rough, but in theory, they're kind of the same thing, right? You know, you don't really send your Ultras across the map unless you're really sure you can do some good damage. And to be fair, Ragnarok did some good damage with them, but I feel like trying to do it when it's like pretty marginal and you don't really know where you are, where you stand, I mean, I feel like that's ultimately what killed him. But like I said, both players are probably hands in their heads right now, just crying about what just happened, you know, but let's hope...
It was still a sick game number 1, though. Like, it was very hectic game.
Yeah, I definitely hope the rest of the series can be at least a little bit like that. But before we can hope anything, we must first introduce our players. Because spawning in the top bottom left-hand position, there we go, as the blue Zerg player, representing Alpha X, it is our very own Ragnarok, who must have won and lost at least 2 times in that last game.
In the opposite corner, it's the red Terran player, currently leading the series 1-0. It is BYUN.
Oh man, I kind of feel like I wanted to see some bird bandings there as long as he had it anyways, you know? But, you know, you can't have everything, right? Can't have your cake and eat it too.
Alright, what are you expecting out of this game? Like, this first game was a little bit of a crazy beginning. Things going a little bit alright for both players from the get-go. And then BYUN decided just did not do much and let Ragnarok take up to the later stages. What do you think should be the play this time from both of them, since they're probably not very content with what happened before?
I gotta be honest, Akon. I think last game gave literally zero information to anybody. It was just so weird. It was just so... But if I had to guess, if I absolutely had to guess, I would say that BYUN... well, he's going for a 1-1-1 right now, right? But I would say he tries to take it into a macro game again, right? I feel like when you lose in the way that you did, you kind of want to like fix up your edges, right? Like you want to prove that, you know, oh, this isn't how I actually play. If I get in the same position again, I could probably win, right? I do think he's going to be more aggressive, though. I think if BYUN is thinking critically about his play, he knows that, oh, maybe I should have moved that earlier when he was just literally roaches, you know? When it was no even +1 carapace or anything like that. So I hope we see a strong 2-base push, maybe even a 3-base push, and then just a good macro game behind it. And Ragnarok, who knows what Ragnarok's gonna do? I have zero predictions.
Yeah, it is kind of the map that allows it. This kind of playstyle. We see Ragnarok go for the overload speed. He wants to keep it a little bit safer. Wants to scout out if anything very aggressive was gonna come out from BYUN, or even something very greedy like the 2-1-1 with a free command center we've seen in the past. It won't scout either. It's just a standard 1-1-1 build from the Terran player, and delaying link speed for that is not really gonna hurt at all. And it looks like for now both players are just gonna take a very standard approach, and we see a Banshee Cloak, which is a very interesting way to start getting some map control, damage, and of course scouting information.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, BYUN never really super struck me as the Banshee kind of player, you know. I've always kind of like thought, you know, it feels like more like Maru or TY, you know, would like pull out the Banshee play, you know, once in a while. Even Cure, you know, I feel like he pulls that out a lot, but I feel like, you know, BYUN choosing to go Banshee here. Oh, actually, hold that thought. Did Ragnarok get the scout off? No, the Marines are spacing that really well, so actually good spacing there from BYUN. Yeah. But the Overlord, oh, it's not even gonna. That's so sad.
Oh, and that's also a kill on that Overlord. That's never supposed to happen once you go for all the speed. That's a really nice catch from BYUN.
Yeah.
Who's gonna send his Banshee through the map right now. Yeah, that's an interesting scenario right now.
Yeah, super interesting. I mean, everything that Overlord Speed was supposed to accomplish, it just didn't accomplish, right? Like, don't do... Overlord Speed means Overlords are not going to die, and I'm going to get a Scatter base. Well, your Overlord died, you didn't see anything, and now you're 100, you know, Porter, right? I mean, still, 4 times better than the Mothership, but still, you gotta be...
yeah, exactly.
you gotta be careful this early in the game. I mean, Ragnarok, thankfully, is covering his bases. He has a spore in each of them, so I guess he just kind of felt something was off. He was like, nothing's coming, you know, I just see a bunch of Marines, you know, gas has to be going somewhere, right? So Banshee's gonna get 3 kills, and, yeah, just gonna go ahead and chill for the time being.
There's still a lot of scouting information. Catching the double Evo chamber being dropped by Ragnarok is of course a little bit of interesting information that BYUN will take from this Banshee play. Getting 3 drones with it, it's a nice add up to this. And back home is just really been producing a ton of units. It's probably gonna make drop the 3rd orbital command very soon. And Ragnarok kind of wants to take a 4th by now. This double upgrade, of course, is gonna keep him relatively safe from any incoming attacks, and also gonna lead him into a fairly decent mid-game transition, having slightly quicker upgrades for the time being. But getting a little bit more economy is very important right now.
Oh yeah, economy is great, and having your upgrades just a little bit like 10-20 seconds ahead of the Terran always feels like it's a little good. I mean, BYUN not even starting +1 attack until just now. So definitely a nice little, you know, weight taken off of Ragnarok's shoulders in the for the mid game. We definitely see a Ling Bane style coming out from him. Whether or not he wants to mix that in with Hydras, or if he wants to go Mutas, or maybe just straight, you know, stay on Ling Bane, get to Hive super fast, you know, really like try the Ultras thing again. I mean, who knows what he's gonna do here? Only time will tell. And as I say that, BYUN is gonna go ahead and move across the map, just kind of testing out in the water. Both players at exactly 100 supply, which is pretty nifty. Ragnarok is gonna go ahead and see this, and oh, actually, huge run by.
Yeah, that's a lot of Zerglings.
Yeah,
that's a lot of Zerglings, catching so many reinforcements, so many SCVs. But in the meanwhile, BYUN is still gonna try to strike over here. Really doubt this will do any damage whatsoever. Like, oh my god, wait a second. Like, Baneley speed is not done. Okay, this can seriously deal damage. Queens can get nowhere close to those units. Finally, they get on top of the tanks. Zerglings as well. Slow Banelings are not gonna do the trick. Oh my god, that was a late
close
collection from those Medivacs. But of course, losing 14 SCVs back home will kind of hurt for BYUN. So Ragnarok is gonna drop his 4th base right now. This Banshee is shocking with damage, and not having Baneley speed at the ready was a real bummer in that scenario.
Oh yeah, definitely a much less efficient fight than he could have taken. I feel like the drones there, we saw that BYUN got 8 drones there, and I feel like, I don't know, if you just like, if you're Ragnarok, if you just pull those drones away from the fight, you know, you all of a sudden end up 8 drones richer, and you have a significant worker lead, and your counterattack actually you know, gives you an advantage. Instead, he's just kind of dead even with BYUN right now. You know, I can be critical of that all I want, but, you know, at the end of the day, pretty even game on both sides. I mean, BYUN probably has the momentum here. He can, you know, move out on the map. Maybe try a couple of drops, and Aspire is going to be the choice coming from Ragnarok. So Mutiling Bane, or maybe even Corruptor Ling Bane, but most probably Mutiling Bane.
I think it's gonna be just a standard Mutiling Bane, and I have to point out that Ragnarok finally managed to kill both of the Banshees, which is kind of a great accomplishment right now, because you can safely drop tech and just be safe around the positioning of his queens without having to fear these Banshees getting in and getting any more queens, any more kills. Right now, this Medivac is going from Earth to Natural. He's probably gonna die to the Spore Crawler before much can happen. That's not gonna be great. Meanwhile, another drop at the 4th base will get 6 drones, and the drop will continue into the main. That is the most important thing right now, because BYUN doesn't know about the Spire yet. He's gonna be completely cleared, and he will get no scouting about the Spire. Another big attack is gonna come in on the right side. A huge Widowmine shot will take a bunch of Zerglings. But in the end, BYUN doesn't take too much damage. Ragnarok still getting a 5th, and the Spire has not been scouted.
No, not at all. And there's no turrets in any of the mineral lines either, so BYUN has the potential to take a lot of damage from this. That being said, RAGNAROK took a beating there, losing drones left and right there. I mean, like, BYUN traded out for it, of course. You know, RAGNAROK got something, but it's still not the prettiest sight. I mean, hopefully these mutas can do something here. RAGNAROK on pace to defend this base over here. No Overseer for those Widow Mines, unfortunately. Now just finally gonna make it. And RAGNAROK being very scared of this forest with, I would argue, superior army. A little strange there. Maybe overly scared of these Widow Mines.
Yeah.
But yeah, cancellation on the 5th. Not what you like to see.
Yeah, it's possibly just a way to stay a little bit safer. Now the muta hand has been showed. We're gonna see a bunch of Thors, Widow Mines, and maybe some missile turrets here and there to stop the mutas from getting any significant damage. +1 air attack is gonna be mandatory for him to start trading something up. And once he has +2, he can finally fight with the main army as well. I thought that will be the purpose of these mutas, who are more centered about trying to get some SCV kills, trying to kill a couple medivacs maybe. But in the end, I do feel like the game is kind of dead even right now.
Yeah, definitely no clear winners on any side. BYUN Thor production has begun as well, so we're seeing a very traditional sort of TVZ. And we see RAGNAROK's intent to go to Hive now shown with Infestation Pit coming at around 11 minutes. Now, here's the thing. BYUN is definitely going to have to ease back, you know, with his drops. Just to be a little bit more careful. BYUN is a very drop-happy guy, and I love the idea to go for mutas out of RAGNAROK, you know, try and shut down those drops, try and see, you know, where BYUN is trying to hit from, you know, punish him a little bit harder. But I don't know, I feel like both armies are maxed out now. The upgrade advantage is gone for RAGNAROK. It's pretty even right now, and I don't know, two maxed out armies clashing together is not really super ideal here if you are RAGNAROK, you know? A small little link counterattack at the 4th base isn't going to do much. The creep spread is alright, you know, nothing to write home about, and BYUN is going to elect not to press that attack there. Instead, going to go ahead and move on back. And just be content to macro on up to get some more barracks, cause sure, why not, you know? You're gonna go all the way up to 8.
That's absolutely the right call from BYUN. He needs to replenish his forces very quickly now that the trades can start from both sides. These Widow Mines are not... Oh my god, that's nutty. A great shot. Oh, that was even better, BYUN. My god, this is a Widow Mine king, everybody. This fight will still go on. One of the Balins heroically kills a bunch of Marines, but BYUN gonna take a huge trade. Now it's the time he needs those extra barracks to reinforce his army quicker than usual, because RAGNAROK can just burst out with Zerglings in the blink of an eye. That's exactly what he did. 60 workers, 60 links in the production tab, just in a second. The Hive is there as well, and once RAGNAROK can trade and then remake his army with higher tech units, that's when BYUN needs those extra racks to get an even better trade than the one he just got.
Good surrender of the base in the bottom right-hand position. Definitely
it wasn't a cancel though, it was a kill.
Yeah, he pulled his units back and had the time to see that, but couldn't cancel, unfortunately. Seemed to be a little busy. Maybe his mutas were getting attacked and he was like, you know, who knows. I know I do that with my Phoenixes all the time. But BYUN...
Yeah, mutas are even worse.
Oh, yeah, it's just... Oh, I couldn't even imagine. I mean, no shields even. I mean, nerds.
No,
ooh,
they just instantly die.
Oh, is he gonna try and magic box the Thors? It looks like it's working. He's gonna get one. Meanwhile, a fight in the bottom right-hand position.
Widow Mines destroying the mutas. Oh,
I just missed it. No. Describe it to me, Akon. And describe it for all of our lovely viewers out there.
All the mutas were clumped out in one spot. There were 2 Widow Mines. The 2 Widow Mines shot, and every single mutalist died.
That's the problem with magic boxing. Sometimes they pull up your sleeves and they're like, "There's a rabbit up there," and then you're just exposed. And a little bit of rough here. I think RAGNAROK is kind of in the pooper right now, trying to hold on.
I mean, he got 25 workers with a run-by, so he's not in the worst of positions, but the army of BYUN is just all over the place. He's just destroying everything. He's gonna lose his base as well.
No
and I
army.
highly doubt there's a way for him to come back into this game. Muta's trying to bring the fight to the Marines, but it's not gonna be enough. GG gets gold, and even that run by wasn't enough. Too much RB out of BYUN once more. And the victory will go to the Terran player, currently at match point.
Currently at match point, indeed. I mean, I kind of want to take a look at the graphs there. I mean, yeah. I mean, at some point, like, actually, Ragnarok's army value was leagues ahead of BYUN's there, actually. But I think he just took just such a rough trade with those Mutalisks. All of them just died in one clump, like you said.
It was terrible.
Yeah, and those Widowmine connections. Did you see those Widowmine connections?
Yeah, Widowmines are just the best unit for BYUN. Like, BYUN is being so consistently amazing at using those Widowmines to the perfection. Getting crazy trades with just a Widowmine killing even 10 to 15 Banelings. It's just insane trades. And a well-deserved victory. It really made up for the mistakes he did in game number 1. It really tried to force his hand a little bit more compared to the previous game, just trying to keep the opponent honest. And after a couple trades that weren't actually insanely good, it just instantly turned the tide of the game with just those insane Widowmine shots.
Oh yeah, just absolutely nutty Widowmine shots. And I feel like I was almost worried for BYUN there in the last game. I mean, we saw, like, you know, Ragnarok's tech and his intent, you know? And we saw him, you know, like, get up to layer. I mean, not layer. Everyone get, He get up to Hive, you know, he got his Ultralisk Cavern down, I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if he actually got there, but he definitely got to Hive.
He got to Hive. I don't think he dropped the
Ultra
Cavern yet.
Actually. Yeah.
He lost way too much army supply to be able to drop tech at that stage.
Yeah, I think he really wanted to, but, like, he took a really bad fight and then he just wasn't able to. I was getting concerned for BYUN because I was like, where's BYUN's next step? Where's the Ghost Academy? Or do you want to, like, go Liberators? Or, like, you know, what do you want to do? Oh, Ragnarok. Oh, looks like he doesn't see. Hang on. Oh, we got some weird party shenanigans here. Yeah, lobby's a little buggy.
I think the lobby's bugged.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Oh, Lightshade.
Oh!
Oh!
Oops.
Where were we making it on?
Pillars of Gold.
Ooh. That's okay. Everyone loves Pillars of Gold anyways. I like how BYUN jumped into the... I like how BYUN, like, jumped into the lobby and then just waited there like nothing was going on. Like, he wasn't like, oh, what's happening? He was just like, yeah, okay, sure. I'll play this. I know, Ragnarok.
Alright.
Having none of it.
It looks like the players are ready. Let's get into the game of the series.
Players are ready, I'm ready. It looks like everyone is ready to rock and roll. I would love to see this go to game number 5. I really would. Whether or not it's gonna go to game number 5, I'm a little on the fence about.
Yeah, just like BYUN leading the series too. It's kind of rough right now. Ragnarok really needs to step up his game, and everything he's been doing hasn't quite been working like really consistently. I feel like in game number 1 he could have got that win. He was way too eager to just fight. He had a bigger economy. He could just sit back, get his upgrades, and then just fight when the time was nigh. But he just decided to go on, and died to that. In the second game, he decided instead to play a little bit to step back, I feel. He didn't do much with those mutas, and he paid the price for it. I will love him to do better this game, to just find that balance he so much needs. And talking about him playing for our very own lovely Alpha X team is the blue Zerg player. It is Ragnarok.
Definitely needs your energy right now. Maybe you should take a page out of Creator's book, get a little bit more of an anime little thing going on next to his hatchery. Who knows? Maybe that's the secret sauce, but you know who does have the secret sauce? This player spawning in the top left-hand position of Lightshade. He is representing himself, a strong independent player who don't need no man. It is BYUN. Currently on match point in this best of 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Best of 5.
Oh, best of 5. Oh, was that game 2? Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. My brain is scrambled. Okay, never mind. So yeah, but still on match point. This is good. Still definitely a match. You're right. It's totally a best of 5. What am I thinking? What am I doing?
It's still a round-robin group.
Yeah.
There's gonna be time for the best of 7 finals on Friday, guys. This tournament is gonna go today, tomorrow, and Friday. So make sure to tune in for the later stages. Round robin Group B is gonna go on tomorrow, which is gonna feature. Let me take a look. It's gonna be DRG, Dream, and Zest. So wow, what a group!
We're gonna see some Void Rays, aren't we, Akon?
Oh yeah, I really think we're gonna see some Void Rays from Zest versus DRG. I can't wait to show you the build properly, because it's gonna be great.
Yeah, if you like seeing Void Rays, be sure to tune on in tomorrow, folks. Ragnarok actually going for a macro-oriented build here, with a third hatchery that is actually pre-7 minutes, so already very unusual play with Ragnarok. Never really see this sort of thing. Let's see where it plays out, let's see what happens. BYUN is gonna go for a 2-1-1 build. I always kind of classically thought of as his bread and butter, you know. Gotta love it. And yeah, we're just gonna see some very standard ZVT, I hope. Now, the real question is, did you ever sing in school, Akon? Like in
Sorry, did I ever sing in school? No, I never did.
No?
No, absolutely not.
Were you a band kid, or did you do anything like that?
It was in a band, yes, but yeah, I just kind of always like really went solo, like playing on the streets, something like that, like playing my guitar and singing on the street, like stuff such as that. Just
that is
not because I needed the money, just because I love to do that, just for that reason.
Wow, that's incredible.
So,
do you like do it like all the time, or like just like, you know, when you're feeling blue and mysterious, you know?
Kind of, it goes both ways. Like, if you feel sad and mysterious, like, you can just go down the streets and just play your guitar and you feel better. If you feel good, you you can just go down, play the guitar, and just feel even better. So, it was just fun to do. I did it seldomly, but it was great. It was great.
I see. Oh. Ragnarok's Pro is gonna get exploded up, but at least I guess he gets
an interesting scouting information, seeing a huge amount of Marines. So I think he knows there's a 2-1-1. Yeah, he immediately drops the Evo Chamber, which is just the right answer to that. And overall, I'd say it was a worthy sacrifice.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Get the +1, get a couple queens, get a lot of lings. And he shouldn't be posed to take too much damage, you know. Medevac should be hitting at around, you know, in like a minute or so, a minute and a half, so you have plenty of time to
I actually think it's going to hit much earlier than that. But
you're right. Lightshade, not the biggest map ever. And actually, is BYUN just going to march across the map? Oh my goodness.
It looks like he is. The two Medivacs are done. Like, right now, Ragnarok saw the Marines marching, so he's just been making a lot of Zerglings. There's 20 plus in the making. Queens are in position also to scout eventually a Medivac coming to maybe try and stop creep. But in the end, Combat Shield is on its way. It's not done yet. +1 Carapace is just halfway through. This is going to be a little bit of bloodbath.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough hold. This is going to determine the entire rest of the game here, is how well Ragnarok can hold the initial push. Queens targeting down the Medivacs very well. No use in them hitting the Marines. And one does end up going on down. BYUN still thinks he wants to stay forward and is going to try and targeting down the Queens. But I feel like that was a pretty good success there from Ragnarok. What do you think?
Yeah, in the end it was pretty good. Not getting below 3 queens, it's the most important thing right now. Having enough queens to inject every single one of the archeries, having enough energy for that is the most important thing. He has a layering coming as well. He's in a pretty good spot overall. Just losing 2 queens is not the worst possible thing that can happen. He's now gonna remake those queens, inject those archeries, and be ready for the second round of this damning attack. Second Evo Chamber has been dropped as well, and with the Billiness being up, this is going to be... Oh my, yeah, losing 3 queens. Oh, yeah, that is ugly. He lost 2 queens. He forces a pick up, he loses 2 queens. That was kind of ugly. How many queens does he have right now? 4, which is kind of nice, but yeah, he needs to stop losing stuff right now.
Fifth one finishing up, and the +1 Carapace is done as well, so BYUN He has another wave of reinforcements coming on in, but I think Ragnarok's got all the pieces together. The painting target fire coming out from BYUN. Classic BYUN. You'll love to see it, and I don't think he's anywhere near to done. BYUN is not done, and he's gonna lose a medevac in order to go into the main base, which you don't need to do, but sometimes it happens.
Yeah, it was quite avoidable to lose that one medevac. He's gonna get an overload done as well. Baneling speed is halfway through, so these banelings are still not gonna get the biggest connections ever, but Carapace is such an important upgrade. Once again, huge focus fire on those banelings by BYUN just before loading up and getting away from there. There's a Spire incoming from Ragnarok. He feels very safe if he wants to drop this kind of tech structures. Now a bunch of drones are dying, which is totally unnecessary. Like, all losses Ragnarok has been taking so far has been quite unnecessary. And BYUN just playing a really great game. Now, BYUN also loading up the healthier of the medivacs, not losing any marines in the other medivac that just died. He's just gonna get away from them. Maybe even force a cancel at this fourth, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I mean, great pace here coming from BYUN. And I feel like, look, Ragnarok just stopped chasing, even though his fourth base is right there. I mean, you gotta at least be thinking of it. Here we go, BYUN steps forward. Hatchery is going down. I think he'll be able to save it, so no big deal there. But, I mean, meanwhile, I feel like BYUN, you know, it was looking really good for Ragnarok, and then just that second wave of reinforcements just really pushed him back down. And especially in the main base, when he pretended to pick up and go away, and then immediately turned back in, definitely caught Ragnarok off guard. And we see in this early game, 6 drones have gone on down, almost twice the resources lost here for Ragnarok as well. And BYUN is nowhere near done. He's still putting pressure on this fourth base, and another medevac full of marines is heading toward the main with a Liberator as well. It is pandemonium in Ragnarok's game.
Yeah, eventually Ragnarok will need to forfeit his base, I feel. Oh, that's an insane Widowman shot. How does BYUN keeps on doing this?
I don't know. Maybe magic, maybe black magic, maybe regular magic. I don't know. What I do know is that 9 Mutalisks are going to be either a Heaven Send or the Death Blow here for Ragnarok. If he can't get his economy under control, I mean, he's in danger of just dying right now. Like, BYUN, here we go, and moves on to the fourth base as soon as, like, there's units in the natural. That's gonna go down. There's also a drop going on in the main, a huge army moving toward the fifth base as well. I mean, BYUN is everywhere.
Yeah, he's striking in so many different places at once, getting huge trades in every single position. Now these Widow Mines are also kind of helping. These links cannot manage to get friendly fire. Oh, these links do manage to get friendly fire on top of the marines. So BYUN will lose a bunch of his units, but he's still trading quite successfully. Getting a lot of creep on the other side, getting a lot of scouting information, like that Medivac into the natural scouted the Spire even before the Mutas were done, and now he's so prepared for that. Widow Mine will fall before the Mutas, and this is starting to look like the moment in which BYUN needs to back off for a little while, wait for his +2/+2 to be done, and then just start destroying Ragnarok, since he's almost on par economy-wise. He's gonna be producing a couple tours and drilling close as well, and as you can see right now, he's just stepping back into his base to defend against the Mutas. That's all he needs to do, really.
Yeah, I feel like BYUN has a couple of really good timings coming up for him, you know, and I feel like the bigger that army is by the time like 2-2 was done, drilling claws, a couple of Thors, the bigger the army is, the better it's gonna be. Kind of an anti-timing here as he moves out as soon as, you know, before +2/+2 is finished, so a little weird here, just looking for, I guess, good trades, and we're gonna see some, you know, pretty good Widowmine connections, but he is gonna push back. Ooh. More of them coming down, actually. Overseer a little late to the party. Poor Mutalisk that's blown up. And yeah, I mean, BYUN 91 to 68 army supply. Never a good thing you like to see as the Zerg player. You always want to be, you know, at the very least even. And ideally you'd be like, you know, a decent amount ahead in army. Just because of how Zerg works, just because of how you trade. But BYUN is looking to end things out. I feel like the Thor is going to be the death blow. Another big Widowmine shot on all those banings there. I mean, on the top side flank, Ragnarok is going to be able to clean up a little bit, but reinforcements are coming. They are relentless, and Ragnarok needs a miracle here.
Yeah, that's really looking rough. These Mutas trying to get as many kills as possible. Gonna get the door before everything else, but that's really not enough. BYUN will take